Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. Your face doesn't stop you from getting women, right? Now, I know I said I was going to go more into player problems, and players ultimately know this, but it still comes up. This is one of those issues I'll probably do another video in 3 months, right? Now, let me be clear on something, because in my book, A Player's Eyes, I specifically said looks matter, right? And usually good looks matter. But I also said in the same book, really in the same in the same chapter, the next paragraph, it still takes more than looks, right? And then in yet another chapter, I specifically said it's the looks matter, but it's not always good looks, right? See, what's happening is this. A lot of dudes, too many dudes, think because they don't look like whatever the current superstar is held up as the sexiest man alive, or they don't look like Idris Elba, who, many women, I've known many women just say he alright, right? But it's more about his sex appeal, right? And y'all know I talk more about that anyway. And I'm going to get into that in this conversation. Or some other cats, people are like, It's not your face that really stops you, right? And I'm going to tell you what. And this is something I found interesting. There's that term out there, either it's called ugly fine, ugly sexy. In fact, I did a pay video on it, right? Like a guy might not look classically, what they'll call classically handsome or something, but women still want him, right? And see, what happens is you get a lot of guys who women probably don't think, the women probably don't think you look that bad. But because you don't feel like you look like a movie star or something, or because you did find a woman who called you ugly or something like that, all of a sudden these women don't want you. First of all women ain't going to look at you the same way. All women are not going to look at you the same way, right? Now, I'm gonna use a YouTuber as an example, right? And y'all gonna know why I use it. Like, you have O'Shea, who, he always makes jokes about his own looks and stuff. Yet, I talked to a woman privately, and she's fine as shit. She knows who she is. She already knows she wouldn't get no peace from me. And the only thing that keep me from on top of her is just distance. I gotta get that flight out on Southwest or something. But she know who she is, and she was talking about different YouTubers, and she was like, "Oh, she fine, and she bad as shit, bad as shit, like 8-9 range, bad as shit, right?" And she was checking them out. See, so that's one thing. Every woman's gonna have something, and realistically, you're not gonna look good. I don't care who you are, you're not gonna look good to every woman. So it's like, why are you worried about it? That's why you mess with the women who think you look good. Or you mess with the women who choosing up on you because there's something about you, right? And even if, I'm going to tell you what, I threw out the term ugly sexy or ugly fine or something. There's many women, because they got burned by some good looking dude, they ain't really checking for that anymore. And I've heard many women say that. They got burned or something. In fact, that's kind of what inspired this. It was a youngin' in my real world, because this ain't just what I do. I was talking with him. She pretty little thing, little thick little thing too, right? Real sweet, real sweet. But she was just like, she got dogged by this dude, and she said, "No, she looking for more than whether or not they good looking now." She said that's the only reason she messed with him, right? And that's usually what happens. So as a woman mature, they realize, they don't want a good-looking guy, but they might not get what they want from that guy. So you get many women who purposely look for a guy who look a certain way. Like I say, the looks still matter, but it's not always good looks. And then you got other women, they don't want a dude looking all pretty or fine like that. They'll tell you straight up they want a rough-looking dude. For whatever reason, they don't want no pretty boy. They'll tell you they don't want somebody up in the mirror more than them. And then to some women, you got other women, if a guy looking too good, that's feminine to them. And they'll say that. They will say that. They just want that rough looking dude. And of course, you still always gonna get some women. They still gonna be like, well, he gotta be pretty. The bottom line is this: all these women got different tastes. What you do, you just find a woman who's liking what you got. Whatever it is, whether she think you fine, whether she think you ugly, still gonna mess with you. Because there's always gonna be more. Understand? Women look at a whole bunch of stuff. It's like any dudes out here think they just checking out looks or just checking out money, really don't understand women. And I'm just gonna say that, right? They just gonna say that. Because first of all, very few women want a man who look better than them. And that game was broken down to me early. And trust me, very few women want that. They don't want to be second fiddle. There's a few who do, but most women, as long as your ass, if they real pretty, as long as your ass ain't hideous. That's why you'll see some like very fine woman and the dude average looking in his face. Because they don't want that. They more concerned if his body and stuff. If anything. And see, that's the thing. Any man can control his body. Like the face is hardest to control outside of getting good haircuts and, make sure you don't have a bunch of stuff on it. But that you can control that. Even your teeth. I've seen plenty of adults got braces and stuff. Right? Plenty of adults got braces. So you can control that. And even if you hit the gym, you can influence your face. But at the same time, you don't know. Like I said, women want different things. I know one woman, she wouldn't mess with a dude unless she said he was ugly. It was funny. She said he was ugly. But everybody else who saw him say, hey, look, all right. But in her eyes. That's why I don't think don't tell yourself, oh, women don't want me because I'm ugly. First of all, you don't know who likes what. Right? You don't know who likes what. But see, what happens is this. A lot of dudes is using that as an excuse. Look, you can't control. I said this in my book, Nice Guys and Players. It was like, you can't worry about your face. Your bone structure is your bone structure. All you can do, you can keep it clean, keep a good haircut, figure out the most flattering haircut, right? And then just move on. Don't think you gotta look like some movie superstar or something. They look like that. Like I said, women are funny. Women are funny. You see, understand something. Women are vain. Part of that vanity is most women don't want to be around a guy who looks better than them unless it adds to their vanity. And ironically, that's usually some ugly women. Like an ugly woman will want somebody better looking than her, especially if she real ugly, just because it's it kind of makes her look good. It makes her look good. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, well, she must be something since she can get this really good looking guy. But the rest of them, if the woman look good herself, she don't need you to look good. She needs you to be a man. And even with that man thing, a lot of them don't see it as masculine if the man look too good. They really don't. They start, how many people out here, or even experienced it themselves, have heard a woman question their sexuality if they look too good? A lot of these good-looking guys, a lot of these guys who people judge as good-looking, the first thing the woman think is he gay. That's the first thing they think. And if he's too clean cut, or his in general, I'm still gonna say in general, you still want to have that lineup and everything. You still want to be clean and everything. It's better to do that than not. But then, even with that, there's always going to be a woman that's going to question it. They be like, oh, he too clean, or his fingernails too clean, or something like that. And that's just how. And the real reason is, there's just women out here just different. Every woman out here ain't the same. And people who follow in my private circle, inner circle, no, I've done a couple webinars on it just for them. You got to be in my inner circle to see them. And it's different types. I broke down like different types of women. In fact, a lot of my private stuff is doing just that. And even some of my pay videos break it down. They got different personalities and stuff, man. Because you got some personalities. Yeah, you probably need to look like Idris Elba or Boris Cujo. Some personality types. But then you get some other personality types, they don't want that because they don't feel like they can control that. So they want a guy that look a certain way. Or you got other women, they just, you know what, they just more or less, they don't care about your form. It's can you deliver? Can you knock them out in the bedroom? Are you going to bring that money? Right? So they're going to look what they ultimately find attractive to them. Is not just based on like how good looking you are to the rest of the population. Like I said, some women, as long as I'm gonna tell you the truth. Here's a general rule of thumb: as long as you do your best to keep your face up, you good. Somebody gonna like it. And see, that's part of the game anyway. Stop worrying about what someone else say. I use myself as an example. Y'all see the videos and stuff. I had some women both privately and in comments say, "Oh, you very handsome," right? Then I've had some other women go in on me. And I've seen some comments about me on other pages or even on some like Lipstick Alley where they were like, "Oh, he ain't good looking, he ain't this." I'm like, okay. The ones who got an issue, I already know. All right, I don't need to mess with you then. And that's good. That's good. I don't get mad because of it. Look, here's some practical knowledge. Say you go in a room of 20 women, right? 20 women. 17 don't like your face, but 3 do. You got 3 women right there. 3 women. And if you smart, you walking out with something. So instead of worrying about the other 17, you only worry about the 3. And if you focus your energy on that, you don't worry about it. It's like, oh, okay. But see, too many dudes worrying about the other 17, and I'm like, for what? And then I know some dudes will argue, well, what if they don't look good? Out of those 3 women, one of them probably look good, so you focus on her. Right? And if only like, here's something else too. Because I know some dudes will say, well, only ugly women think I look good and stuff. Well, maybe you need to work on some other shit to get better looking women. That's on you. Work on your body or something. There's plenty of women who will mess with a dude just because his body right. And I've seen women do that, dude. Dude's face be average, but the body be on. And women be like, fuck that. And they definitely say fuck that if it's that dude, he can look whatever, but he got a good print. It's a lot of stuff. See, understand something. The face is just one thing. And here's a general thing. If you got that type face where people don't think it look good, work on everything else. If your ass can dress, you get in the gym, you got some muscles, you can dress and all that, you can spit that hot fire, you can make them laugh, trust me. They'll rethink the other shit. In fact, if you have a certain aura, you'll actually look better to them. You make a woman laugh, trust me, you'll look better to her. And that's the part that you want to develop. You develop the other shit. Just develop what you can. Right? That's how like you get some dudes who might be overweight, some dudes who are short, some dudes who are very slim. They just do that. They just work on the other shit. That's why they be winning. And don't act like you ain't seen that. So, yeah, get off. Your face doesn't stop you from getting women. It's really just in your head. So anyway, I'll talk to you later. Peace and blessings.